Recap in minutes. In today's video, we will be enjoying a drama historical film entitled Hotel Mumbai. There will be spoilers ahead, chill out and enjoy. The movie begins with the terrorists being given words of encouragement by their handlers. They are made to believe that what they are about to do is a worthy cause. The armed men arrive on shore by boat. Each carries a bag containing guns, munitions, and explosives. They then head towards VT station, one of their targeted areas. They have 30 minutes to complete their mission. Arjun carries his child and goes to his wife on foot. He leaves his little girl, gives his pregnant wife a kiss, and leaves for work. He can't afford to be late, especially now that he's about to have a second child. He goes to the Taj Hotel, clocks in, says his prayer, then asks Dilip what his assignment for today would be. He's told that he'll be assigned at Shamiana restaurant. Dilip informs Prabha that Zara Kashan, a VIP guest, is on the way with her son, her husband, David Duncan, and their baby's nanny, Sally. She is told it's okay to congratulate the couple but not ask them about their wedding. The ceremony was private as Zara was already pregnant when they got married. They arrive at the hotel and are warmly welcomed by the staff. Prabha confirms to Dilip that the family's dinner reservation has been booked at Shamiana restaurant. Dilip wants his team to book a reservation to all restaurants just in case Zara changes her mind and prefers to go elsewhere. At the CST train station, Mumbai's main railway terminal, two terrorists meet in the bathroom to assemble their guns. They are determined to do the unthinkable. They then come out and start shooting at the innocent civilians, gunning down more than 100 passengers and staff. Chef Oberoi inspects all of his staff at the Shamiana restaurant. He wants to ensure that they are neat, clean, and presentable to their wealthy guests. Arjun joins in and is caught wearing sandals. He explains that he lost his shoes. He's not certain how, but it might have fallen from his bag. Oberoi is unhappy with the reason and wants him to go home instead. Arjun begs him as his wife is about to give birth. He can't afford to work today. Oberoi has a change of heart and offers his extra shoes in his office. The shoes turn out to be too small for him, but he finds a way to wear their shoes. Whatever it takes to be given a chance to work today. Oberoi informs his staff that another VIP guest is coming in. His name is Vasily Gordetsky, and he is tough to please. Everyone is instructed to be excellent. After dinner, Gordetsky has another event in his suite, and the chef wants to ensure that no female waiter is sent there. The guest is known to hire escorts to be with him. He does not want to commit the same mistake again. Arjun volunteers to serve the guest for tonight, but Oberoi gives the task to Sanjay, who's more than happy to oblige. Sanjay is asked to get a bottle of cognac outside the hotel. On his way, he's happy to share with a friend over the phone that Gordetsky is back. These VIP guest escorts have always been top-notch. While preoccupied on the phone, he is almost hit by a cab hired by two terrorists. Sanjay and the driver then get into it. Both are cussing each other about who is at fault. The terrorists casually step out of the car to not get attention. They then walk away and, without warning, start shooting at random strangers. A hand grenade is also thrown at a nearby restaurant where tourists Bree and David are eating. Luckily, they survived the blast, but not everyone made it. Pandemonium breaks out as everyone runs for their lives. Some end up in front of the Taj Hotel, but they are stopped by the security personnel. They can't just allow strangers to come in without reservations. The hotel is private, after all. Dilip interferes and lets everyone know inside, knowing there's chaos. Without everyone's knowledge, 4 terrorists are among the crowd. They blend in and go their separate ways to accomplish their unspeakable mission. Everyone in the hotel is now in jeopardy. Tourists Eddie and Bree just survived the attack at the restaurant earlier. They're glad to be allowed to get it in the Taj Hotel together with the other survivors. Still, the hotel staff is unable to find their reservation. As they are about to look for someplace to go, the terrorists start shooting at everyone within the vicinity. Eddie and Bree are separated. Arjun sees what's going on. He can't believe what he just noticed in the restaurant. Guests are being executed. He immediately asks that the lights in the restaurants are switched off. He tells the guests to hide under the table. The terrorists can't know that guests are hiding in the restaurant. David tries to contact Sally, but the nanny is taking a shower at this time and is unaware that they are in danger. David keeps calling until Sally can answer. Due to a bad signal, she is not able to get the message. Instead, she opens the door when she hears someone knocking, thinking it's the doctor that they asked for earlier to check the baby. Sally finally realizes something is wrong when a wounded woman enters the suite without asking for permission. The terrorist manages to get in, finds the wounded woman, and finishes the job. Sally then hides together with the baby in a closet. They are almost caught as the baby is crying. She does her best to prevent the baby from making noises. When the terrorist leaves, Sally gets a hold of David and tells him what just happened. David is stunned and decides to leave the restaurant to go to his suite and save the baby. He can't afford to just hide there safely while his baby's life is in danger. Arjun tries to stop him, but he insists. He has made up his mind. David manages to return back to the suite and get reunited with his son. Sally is still traumatized by what she witnessed. The old woman who barged in earlier is in the bathroom, dead. She was shot at point blank by one of the terrorists before David arrived. Arjun's wife is shocked to discover that Taj Hotel is currently under attack. She can only watch the news as the chaos unfolds. Her husband is one of the 500 staff trapped inside with around 1,000 guests. Some parts of the hotel are already engulfed in fire at this point. The authorities in Mumbai are still waiting for the special forces from New Delhi. They are ordered to stand down and wait for the help to arrive. Help will have to come from over 800 miles away. While two police officers, part of the squad that was sent to help, are discussing their next move, Eddie jumps from the window. He screams for help as Bree is still inside. Some of the officers decide to make a move and get inside. A hand grenade is thrown in their direction, followed by gunshots. Oberoi gathers his staff and gives them an update on what's going on. There is a way out, after all. He lets them know they are free to leave and be safe with their families if they want to. He will not take it against them should they decide to go. They can also choose to stay and help the guests who are trapped. To his surprise, most of the staff decide to stay. They are willing to risk their lives to help save the guests. Arjun tells the guests at the restaurant that they can proceed to the Chambers Club and wait there until the special forces arrive and the hotel is cleared. He guides them safely to the club, where they are united with Chef Oberoi. Oberoi assures everyone that it's just a matter of time before help arrives. He has direct contact with an officer who is also communicating with a reinforcement from New Delhi. Oberoi fails to tell them that the tactical team has not even left New Delhi. They are on their own. Arjun is told to stay in the kitchen as one of the guests feels uncomfortable with his beard and turban. Arjun confronts the old lady and educates her about his culture and religion. At this point, she begins to understand and feels terrible for her behavior. Arjun then offers to give her some water to calm down. The terrorists are unable to force open all the doors that are locked by the terrified guests from the inside. In order to get in, they threaten the receptionists and force them to call each room and ask the guests to open the door. One of the receptionists instructs a guest to open the door as rescuers arrive. Once she unlocks the door, she is immediately killed. Feeling bad for what she did, the receptionist refuses to continue calling the guests, and she is then mercilessly executed. Bree is taken to the club. She is badly wounded and in need of immediate medical attention. The only way for her to survive is if she's taken to the nearest hospital. Arjun volunteers to take her and guide her out of the hotel. On their way, they come across two police officers who think Arjun is one of the terrorists. Arjun explains that he's a hotel staff and not a terrorist. By the time they believe him, Bree runs away and exits the door. She is killed by the terrorists. The officers proceed to the CCTV room to have an overview of what's going on inside. This gives them the leverage on how to approach the crisis while waiting for reinforcement. David and Sally are being chased by one of the terrorists. David helps Sally and the baby hide while he allows himself to get captured. Better him than them. One of the terrorists pretends to be part of the squad that is sent to rescue the guests. While hesitant initially, Oberoi is convinced that the person knocking is a police officer. When he is about to unlock the door, Arjun can contact him and warn him not to open the door. Arjun can see from the CCTV who is knocking. The guests are then asked to take cover. The two police officers engage in a gunfight against the terrorists and manage to injure one of them. Zara is tired of waiting for the special forces to arrive. She knows that her family is in danger. Oberoi tries to stop her, but she has made up her mind. Zara and some of the guests then leave the club. Moments later, Zara and Vasily are captured. They are taken where David and the rest of the hostages are. All of them are tied behind their back. They are to be executed. David tells Zara that their son is hiding in a utility room with Sally. David attempts to get up and gets shot. While looking at the CCTV, Arjun notices that some of the guests are headed toward where the terrorists are. He immediately stops the guests from running into them and guides them to the club. Imran, one of the terrorists who is injured, receives an order to execute all of the hostages. He grabs his pistol and starts killing the guests. In a desperate move to stop Imran, Vasily bites his ankle. Imran is hurt but manages to shoot Vasily. The VIP dies right away. Zara is the next to be executed, but Imran loses the courage to complete the task. Zara manages to untie herself and escape. She goes immediately to where her baby and the nanny are supposed to be hiding. She recalls what her dead husband told her. She is devastated as they are nowhere to be found. The area is on fire, and the smoke is starting to suffocate her. As a mother, she is desperate. She does not know that Sally and the baby are safe and are now together with the other guests evading the terrorists who are closing in. They then manage to exit the hotel just right in time for the special forces to arrive. Zara looks for the exit but is now trapped and is struggling to breathe. She breaks the window to get some fresh air and screams for help. Once rescued, Zara looks for Sally and is happy to see her baby. After saving lives in the hotel, Arjun returns to see his pregnant wife and child. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this and to help the channel grow.